Hey there, today I'm reviewing this 6x4 meter dome field tent by Sheltent. Their links are down below. Again, it's a 6 meter by 4 meter dome field tent. It's designed for a lot of different uses. I have an actual installation video of this, and that's linked down below. Also check out sheltent.com down below and see all their various different products. Okay, so this dome field tent, when it first came, I looked at it and I was a little intimidated because I'm a party rental company, and this was a lot beefier than a lot of the aluminum stuff that we see in our frame tents. It is galvanized steel and it is thick, and it is also put together with nuts and bolts, which a lot of rental frame tents are not. But this is designed to be a long-term kind of structure. People use this for storage, for on-site military offices or any sort of offices, construction offices. I'm going to actually be using this for glamping. I'm going to turn the inside into a very nice thing and rent it out. I set it up at my camp, and I'm going to turn this into something that some people can come and camp, but luxuriously, with a bed and a seating area and dressers in there, and I'm going to hang lights and all that stuff. It's going to be great. That video is going to come out in spring of 2026, and you'll see that all set up. So yeah, I was a little intimidated, and as you see here, this is me putting it together. But once I got into it, there's not that many pieces. There's the arch pieces and the base pieces, and then there's some metal pieces that go in a pocket down here to keep everything tight. And once I started putting the frame together, it was actually super easy. It did not take that long at all, and I did it by myself. 2 people, we probably could have had it done in 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So even though that it has nuts and bolts, it really wasn't that much of an issue. And like I said, it is meant to be a longer term setup, so the nuts and bolts and the steel make it possible that this is just not going to fail. I know a lot of us have set up frame tents for a long time, and it starts to pool water, and then it can bend some of these beefy aluminum pipes. Even though they're big, this is galvanized steel, very thick, it's not going to bend. I feel very confident that this is going to stay up all winter, and I am keeping this up all winter long. For the winter, right now I'm going to use it as storage, and then in the spring I'm going to make another video and show you exactly how it held up. All right, so let's go inside. Now the option that I have is a zip-up rolled-up door, but they have a lot of different styles you can get, like a PVC door, and the windows and different coverings, whatever you want, they can do for you. So down below is the link for this tent, and you can see all the different door options. Now before we go in, I'm just going to show you the vinyl. It is a very thick vinyl, and then on the inside is another layer that you put up first before you put on the vinyl over the top, and this is an insulation layer. Right now I'm in late fall. It's kind of warm outside, but inside it is definitely about 10 degrees warmer right now. So if I had some sort of heater in here, like a heater outside that blows air in, this would be very comfortable in the winter. And that's what it's designed to do. A lot of people have these on long-term construction sites or military sites or anything in the field. And so this works really well in the winter. And this could have been very beneficial to me if I knew it existed before, recently. In 2020, I had a lot of 10 by 10 and 15 by 15 frame tents up at hospitals for nurses to be in, and then people would drive up and they'd get cotton swabbed to get tested. But when winter came along, I did not feel confident in keeping those up. I knew that they were probably gonna fail. But if I had these, I could have made a lot of money throughout the winter setting these up for those test sites, put a heater there, and give a comfortable space for the nurses to stay in. That was just not gonna happen in my frame tents. So technically, I lost a lot of money when I could have been making money. Definitely would have used these. So over this winter, I am going to store some of my camping stuff in here, and then in the spring, I will show you how this has held up. Once spring comes, I'm going to do something about a floor in here. I'm gonna put a bed, I'm gonna put a little seating area over here, and then some dressers over here. And I am 6'2", and I can walk almost all the way to the edge, and there's only maybe about another 1.5 feet of room, so no problem putting a bed and dressers and all that in here. You're not losing space because it's a curve, but because it's a curve, you really aren't going to have anything that builds up and puts pressure on it. It's all going to shoot off to one side, and a good thing about that is once it shoots off to either side, this fabric that is designed to sit on the ground is going to get covered in snow and create a seal. Now that's what I'm going to do over the winter. Once I make it a glamping tent, I may cover this in gravel and that'll create a seal and make it even more comfortable inside. So overall, I am excited to have this on my property. One, for storage this winter, and two, next summer I get to set it up as a glamping tent and start renting out my land and making money, and people have a very comfortable place to camp in. And like I said, when it first comes, it does seem a little intimidating, but once you do one step, you're like, oh, okay, this is easy, and then you just repeat those steps and it goes up very easy. Now, the only hard part was there's pockets on either side that go in, that a pole goes into, and then that pole attaches to the frame. Now, that was the only hard part. But as you see, obviously I accomplished it, even though it was a little difficult. Now, you do not need anything extra to put this tent up. They send everything. They send the nuts and bolts, they send every piece, obviously. They send ropes to pull over the top, and they also send the 2 wrenches you need to tighten everything. Obviously, you can use your own power tools, but they just include the wrenches for you. So Sheltent does make a lot more things than this dome field tent. They have regular pole tents and regular frame tents. They have keter things. They have long-term structures like this. Sheltent is linked down below. Also, I do have a 20x20 and a 10x20 from Sheltent that is also linked below, me setting those up. So if you have a need for a longer term rental where everything needs to be really sturdy and you want to be confident that it's not going to pool water and fail or pool snow, I definitely think that the field dome tent by Sheltent is an option to look for. Don't be intimidated that it doesn't look like our normal stuff that we use, like aluminum frame tents and stuff. That's the point. It's made out of steel so that it's very strong, so that it lasts in those kind of conditions where we're going to keep it up for a while. Thanks for watching, and again, link down below is sheltent.com. This particular tent, the installation video for this tent. Spring 2026, there will be a link for how this held up over the winter, and at the end of the season, how it held up over the entire season. Also, I got the videos for the 10x20 and the 20x20 Sheltent pole tents linked below as well. Thanks.